So being a law enforcement officer was one of my childhood ambitions. When I was a kid, I was a huge movie buff. Some of my cinematic heroes were like Johnny To, John Woo, and the content of the films they make are mostly about law enforcement, crime. So as a kid, it sort of planted a seed within me that, law enforcement is cool, I want to be a law enforcement officer when I grow up. Actually, I want to be a film director. Reason because I'm not very cool. Hi, I am Liew Shi Xiong. I am the OC for the Special Investigation Team, Enforcement Division. I have been serving the ICA for slightly more than 6 years. Investigation officers, or IO in ICA, mainly investigate offences relating to the Immigration Act, Passports Act and the National Registration Act. Some of the common offences that ICA investigates will be like illegal immigrants, overstaying, harbouring and employing of immigration offenders, human smuggling, possession of forged passports and also marriage of convenience. One of the most memorable cases that I've done is this investigation into a local marriage of convenience syndicate. So we have this syndicate that approached a local Singaporean, we call them local spouses, to get into a so-called fake marriage, shared marriage with a foreigner. Not out of love, alright, but it's to allow these foreigners, we call them foreign spouses, to gain immigration advantage. And in return, this local spouse will receive a sum of money. This syndicate actually arranged for a wedding banquet, wedding photo shoot, so-called like legitimize their marriage. So that's quite interesting, like how this syndicate tried to come up with creative ways to evade detection. So the bulk of investigation work involves interviewing and recording statements from alleged offenders, suspects and also witnesses. I reckon that a good IO should be kaypoh. You need to be a busybody, you need to be very curious, you need to ask a lot of questions. You must take an interest in the person you're talking to, find out more about his background, what is his intentions of doing certain things, because you never know what information that you receive could be important to your investigation. We also have to take a lot of effort to gather evidence, and then it's like playing a jigsaw puzzle like that. You look through all the information that you receive, and then you look through what is important, what is pertinent, which area is conflicting, and then you piece them all together. The longest interview that I've done thus far in my career here in ICA would probably be about 12 to 15 hours, but it's not 12 to 15 hours at one sitting. Every 2 hours, I give him a 15-20 minutes break, and of course we give breaks for lunch and dinner. But however, while the offender or the suspect is resting, for the IOs, we're not really resting. We may go for our coffee or our meals, but in our mind we're thinking about, okay, what did the subject say that makes sense, maybe salient to your investigations, and what questions could I ask him further once I return back to the interview. I always believe that we should give the suspect an open and fair interview and let him say what he need to say. One of the most challenging parts of the job is staying ahead of criminal elements. Syndicates are very creative. They're very creative in the ways they try to smuggle items into Singapore. And they operate in the dark, so they can do a lot of things that are very creative that may not be in the known, that law enforcement may not know. So you have to always stay ahead of the game. And that also includes working with other law enforcement agencies, sharing of information, and also relying on technology. So early on, we work with our colleagues from other work units to conduct house checks, house visits on persons issued with the 14-day stay-home notices, or the SHN. And thereafter, till date, ICA IOs took on the investigation of the SHN breaches. So it has been a very meaningful experience thus far to be part of the nation's effort to keep the virus at bay. It is important to find work that firstly you like, and secondly, it is meaningful. And I'm glad to say that my service in ICA thus far, I've ticked both boxes. Everything that we do at work every day, does have an impact on the safety and security and well-being of our country and our people.